dead set against the measures, warning that election workers would sweep through metropolitan areas, scooping up apathetic voters to keep the benefit dispensers in power.
That is vintage Reagan, vintage Southern strategy.
The law would make the GOP as dead as the dodo bird, Reagan said.
He says we should really use reverse psychology and make it more difficult to vote.
We will take action if we find evidence of voting or election fraud.
The election day boogeyman Republicans have pointed to for years,
Fraudulently cast votes.
to justify opposing more voting,
It's going to be fraud all over the place.
has been voter fraud. But study after study by Democrats and Republicans have found that voter fraud is less common than getting struck by lightning.
From 2000 to 2014, there were 1 billion votes cast. Out of those 1 billion, that's with a B, there were 31 cases of voter impersonation fraud. 31 in 15 years out of 1 billion votes.
It is a scene that's played out in states across the country.
But Republicans use the myth of widespread voter fraud
Civil rights groups pushing back against voter ID laws
to pass dozens of laws making it disproportionately difficult for black people to vote.
Pushing more voters out of the ballot box.
Hundreds of thousands of voters may not have necessary ID.
We are ready to march on ballot boxes. Yeah.
It was a shameful echo of the Jim Crow South.
Say it again.
One of the most troubling measures
If we ever needed to vote, we sure do need to vote now.
was in North Carolina.
Thank you, North Carolina.
After Obama flipped the state in '08, thanks to a massive black voter turnout, Republican state legislators gathered meticulous data to see how black people voted, which IDs they used to vote,
Ladies, we're here to take your early voting.
and which days they went to the polls,
This is the day that we vote for Obama.
including Sunday after church. Then they wrote a new election law that would have made Jim Crow proud,
This 57-page of abomination.
severely restricting those very ways that black voters cast their ballots.
If the United States awarded medals for voter suppression, this bill would be a candidate for the gold.
A federal court wrote that Republicans targeted African Americans with almost surgical precision.
One of the things that the Fourth Circuit said was, this is as close to a smoking gun as we will ever see.
By the 2016 election, there were more smoking guns, fueled by a controversial Supreme Court decision that gutted the Voting Rights Act.
This was the first presidential election in 50 years when black voters faced the full assault on their voting rights, the full implementation of voter ID laws. Almost 1,200 polling places closed, millions upon millions removed from the voter rolls.
A voter ID law in Wisconsin may have helped swing the state to Trump. Tens of thousands of people did not have the right ID to vote, and black voter turnout plummeted.
CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Wisconsin.
Trump won the state by less than 23,000 ballots.
Election officials could face felony charges.
And today, in 2021, Republicans are not merely suppressing the vote, they are trying to pry away power from election officials, as GOP state legislatures attempt to seize control over how the votes are counted.